Hi, this is Lucy, and today I'm going to show you how to build this very easy cabin. You do not need catwalks, wallpaper, flamer trap, it's all just straight building. And to show you how easy it is, I'm actually going to build it or rebuild it using the in-game brick set and the wood set. So you can build this even if you are a beginner. If this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. So I have to confess that this is going to be take 2 of this video, and it's not because the build is difficult, but we have had, after months of rain, we had a few days of nice weather in the UK, and what happened was all the trees went woomph. Now, I do not get hay fever, or what the Americans call seasonal allergies. However, birch pollen, which is related to one of my food allergies, triggers my asthma. So for some of the last video I sounded like Barbara from Royston Vasey, which is a local joke for local people. So if I start getting a bit croaky or there's any weird cuts in this video, it's just because I'm lying on the floor hacking my lungs up. So yeah. Anyway, that aside. This is a little compound I built back in the day. All those eons ago, 5.5 years ago, when I started playing this game, we all built compounds to keep the ghouls and everything else and the mole rats away from our precious crops and our Brahmin. Now, I haven't put a Brahmin out, but you could fit a Brahmin in here. I will show you where we are on the map. Now, if you're a new player, I'm not suggesting you build this here. There are lots of safer places down in the forest. We are in the top right corner of the map. I just happen to like this spot. Vault 76 is over here. So we are a long way away. Right. I have one turret up here because it is pointed at my camp widget, which is over there. Enemies will spawn in there. If you pick a place where there are localised enemies, i.e. enemies in the world, they will also attack your camp. But here we go. There we go. That was not rehearsed. That was a demonstration of why I only need one turret at this camp. Although I did take a little bit of damage because I was standing in line. Right, we have a little workshop out here. This is the stable block. We have crops. I have decorated using all my plethora of seasonal and Atom Store stuff, but I can't not, to be honest. I have some gnomes here. They're very friendly gnomes. And they're on a chessboard that I have merged into the ground. So it's pretty simple. I did use this new set that was in the Atom Store recently. For advanced players, I have glazed it without using wallpaper. If you want me to show you how to do that, I will do a quick video, just let me know. I have not used wallpaper. I quite like the plaster in here. It's quite clean looking. Not like the brick set, unfortunately, which is a bit shabby looking, but you might want to go for a scrappy build. I have used the new fireplace. Originally I was going to put it in this wall, but you will see why I didn't when we go upstairs. It's not overly decorated, for me anyway, but I have put a fair bit out. Oh, all my bottles of wine and stuff have disappeared. If you don't know this, display items, these things, quite often things will just disappear and you have to re-add them. And they're not actually disappearing. Let me try that. I always carry far too much food. So it should look like that. I wasn't very imaginative with this, other than the birds, which I've always loved these, and it's nice to actually be able to display them now. Again, they are on chessboards and they are merged in. If you want to know what merging is, I have plenty of videos on it. Upstairs we have this bedroom. This is why I did not put the fireplace here, because I wanted to put a window here. Ideally, I wouldn't like the bed up against the window, but the flow of this room was a bit complicated. So, yeah. I did consider putting the bathroom here and turning the bed 90 degrees, but then you couldn't really get through this gap. So, yeah. There we go. But if you want to, you know, do something different, by all means do something different. This is the bathroom. This is obviously the chimney. The toilet is behind the door. And I mean, if you really want to put the fireplace there, you could take this door out and put a window here, I guess. But I quite like having the balcony. These are not actually attached to this floor. I thought they were too high. So I've actually floated them. I'll show you how I did that later. It's easy. What I would have ideally liked is to put a porch railing on there. But I have still not figured out a way to... I've tried something else the other day. I cannot figure out a way to make a free place porch railing. I mean, you don't need them. It looks fine without it, to be honest. The only reason I put them in there was because I put something here. We do not have banisters or sort of, you know, railings for stairs. Because Bethesda hates us. It took 4 years just to get a kitchen. Right. Anyhow, I will show you how I built it. So if you do want to build it here, these trees, this tree and this tree will not move. So you are quite limited, I guess, on where you can place this. Yeah, I got caught out by the up and down thing again. I always do. It's just, I hate it. Right, we're going to start with some foundations, and the house is basically 3 by 3. And the reason that we need to be close to this tree is so that when I come down here, and I might actually need to go a bit closer, because it's built on a grid, no, we might be alright. I need to make sure there is enough space here to get a foundation and a wall. Yeah, we are slightly out. So, just seeing if it's square, whether I can rotate rather than move the foundation. I'm going to move that foundation like that and start again. Oops. Right, that is the house, 3, and then there's 3 for the garden, and 1 for the stables. Right, I'm a bit concerned about this little spot here. We'll see. You can always... I don't want it too high at the front. Or the other thing is we just move this back one. don't really want to be putting fences across that tree for reasons you'll see, so we are going to have to just raise it up, I think. If you have a foundation that's clipping the ground, you just isolate it and lift it, and it will go to the optimal position, I guess. Right, so that is our house, 3 by 3. This is the stables. I'm going to start with some walls. This is the doorway, and then you have this covered porch. Make sure that the walls are facing the correct way. When you have 2 foundations or 2 upper floors like this, you can flip whichever way you want it to go. Going to put some windows in, and we're mirroring that on the back. We are going to put a doorway in here for the fireplace. Now, if you don't have this fireplace, but you are absolutely desperate for a fire, you want one, you can do what we used to do back in the day. Place a foundation. Now, I always used to use a cement one for this. And then just build up walls around it, like so. We'll go 3 high. On the lowest part here, place 2 half walls with the brick facing outwards, and then add the rest of your... Now the reason I have placed these like this is I am going to put a roof in here, if I can find the base roofs. Not on the top, but one down. Now the reason for this is when I used to use these fireplaces, nearly all of my friends when we got jetpacks would jump in them and get stuck. So stops people from jumping in. But the other thing that roof does is it allows you to take the bottom wall out there. So you have a faux fireplace. You can just put the base game. I appreciate this tree is going through here a bit, but you won't see it because it's in the fireplace. That was the other reason that we needed to be quite close to that tree, because you do not want a tree in your bedroom. So just go around and make these walls. And then just grab the base game fire and put it in there. And you can actually, if I can get low enough, you can stack a couple on top of each other if you want a bigger fire. Right, upstairs. I'm not doing any tricks with stairs, we're just using the base game mechanic for this. So I'm going to put a staircase here. They snap to foundations and upper floors. You can only place upper floors if they are attached to a staircase. And I really like these kind of oak looking upper floors. They're a bit of a pain trying to get them to line up. And it really annoys me that we don't have these for the downstairs, because the downstairs foundation, wooden foundations, are really ugly. So it should look like something like that. You're going over the porch, so kind of 3 by 3. Obviously not one there because the staircase is there. However, right, next upper walls. We are going to want to put a door here. That's where the balcony is going to be. we want half walls here and here. Now you are going to have a problem here because this wall will not face inwards, and there is an easy trick to that. Take this floor off. Move your staircase. You can't take it off, it won't let you. Temporarily put a floor in there. Put your wall in facing inwards. Remove it. Put your staircase back. Floor back. Then we need a window at the back opposite the door. Then we just need to add half walls all the way around. Now if you've put this in, then obviously you won't get one, so just leave it, it will work fine like that. We need top wall arches, which are these triangular pieces. The opposite piece is on the same tab. You can see the little yellow arrow when you look at the box on the left. We will not get one in here, but that's fine, it will not affect the final outcome. We need to put some roofs on. Going to use the base roofs. Now the build order for this is quite important. You have to do it this way first. Right, that won't go in yet. Oh yes, it will. There we go. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky, but it's fine. Just persevere. We need the roofs here. We're going to add top wall arches, like so, making sure that they are facing inwards, so the inside surfaces are like so. And then we're going to add roofs like this. Now if you want, you can take these walls out and have that as sort of storage space, but you will find it difficult to put items in there. They will pop up on the roof. One simple solution, actually you can't on this one. This roof set is unique. It was the roof set that we were given during the start of the game. But if you look at any of the other roof sets, the newer ones that you get from the Atom store or the scoreboard, they will flatten. This roof will not flatten. If you have other roofs and you want to use them, you can flatten the roof, put stuff on it, lift the roof up. But I like the effect. I think it makes the cabin. The next thing we are going to do is add the fascias. Now the fascias have to go on the top of roofs like this. They can be tricky. And what they're doing is they're squaring off this centre part and filling that hole, obviously. And then we can simply add roofs on top. If you do want, you can use these if you're using the base set, but I'm going to continue with how I built it with this flat roof on here. So that is pretty much the house built. Add a couple of doors. I always like my doors to open inwards, but different doors open in different directions. So there, or we could use a red one actually, it might look nice with the red. So there is a basic house. Okay, next I'm going to do the stables, which is my posh way of saying workshop, I guess. All we're going to do is put walls around here like so. And then roofs, just flat roofs. Now I put pillars on mine and I used a blueprint. It is a very simple blueprint. I have a very simple video. I will put a link down below. It is 2 pillars and a power connector or a power conduit. And this will go through roofs. If you want to place one and it won't go through a roof, just make one with 2 short pillars. But basically all you're going to do is place these like so and remove the top pillar. And the conduit connector, because I always forget. We can add some steps. Can add steps in the middle here and then mirror that over here by the house. Next we're going to add some fences. Now I used the in-game fences. And I will tell you now, these things are an abomination. Now, in an ideal world, you would just be able to place these down and they will all connect because they snap together. Now, the reason this one won't go in, it might be clipping the wall, but the reason it won't go in is because it needs support. It's too high, because there is actually a kind of lump in the ground here. You can lower them into the ground a little, but right. So always sort of start at the highest point if you can. This one won't go in either. One of the easiest things to do is something that we didn't have back in the day, which is to turn off snapping. And that means that you can manually line them up. If you want to get them straight, it's usually easier to do it from this angle. I'm not sure that actually moved. So just... I appreciate that I've got a gate going in here, but I find it easier to get the gate in if you're snapping them by doing it this way. You can sometimes put them on, if your foundations are low enough, you can put them on a foundation and take the foundation away, but I have tried that at this location and it didn't work. We might be able to snap the gate in. There we go. So that is one solution for this problem. The other solution you could try is it's not the only in-game fence set. This is the paddock set. It comes from Blue Ridge Mountain event called Safe and Sound at Middle Mountain Cabins. It comes with a gate as well, although this one won't go in. Oh dear, they are usually more forgiving, although it's not straight, but you get the idea. I use these for the banisters upstairs and for the railing for the deck. We can try lifting them up a little bit. Here we go. See if we can get the gate in. I think the gate is actually too wide. There we go. So yeah, you can get it from the event. It's an event reward that drops. I only did it about 1 or 2 times. The paddock gate and the paddock fence are different plans, so you will need to get both if you want the gate. Even if you're a low level, just take a couple of shots. Hide somewhere, nobody will mind. The other alternative is this, the barbed wire fence, which again comes with a gate. This is a mole miner plan. It drops from mole miner players when the event is on, and sometimes you can find them in player vendors for, you know, quite cheap. Some people, like me and my friends, sell our plans very cheap for sort of 10 caps each. And then, well, my friend George saw a level 1000 empty his vendor the other day, followed him back to his camp, and this guy had put all these 10 cap plans in his vendor for 1000 caps. So he's now put a sign up saying, for new players only, don't be greedy. Whether it will have any effect, I don't know. So have a look in player vendors anyway. A couple of things I didn't do in the house. I didn't put the bathroom in. You can put the bathroom either side. It's very easy. Put a doorway in here. Obviously, if you want, you can build it on this side. Put a doorway in here, a half wall and a top wall arch. Now, top wall arches will snap in under fascias, but you cannot snap a fascia to a top wall arch. But that's the logic. And I said I'd show you how I put these fences up here. Now, they won't snap to an upper floor. They will snap to a foundation, I think. Maybe. Yes, they'll snap to a foundation, although for some reason they snap in the middle, which is pretty useless when it's half wide. You can get them in quite... Won't snap on. Saying it's intersects. See if we can get it a bit closer. You have to do it very slowly. See, this is one of the problems you might have with this. So the solution I came up with was to float them, and to do this I put another foundation here. I temporarily took that foundation out. I lowered this foundation. Be aware that it will move towards you, so you might need to move it back a little bit. We can put that one back in. Take a wall, any wall, add a roof. You can place your fences on here, put them as close as you can. I think I've even got them lower than I did last time. And then you can take the roof off and they will float. Haven't actually tried this with the base game fence. Should we have a quick go? There we go, you can have that one. The other option, which a lot of players use, and the only reason I didn't is because I absolutely hate them, is we do have this railing. You can use this railing if you want, but it's not Lucy approved because I hate them. And for some reason, the singular version, this has been known about this bug, it will not snap. So, I mean, it's not it's terrible, I hate it, I'm sorry. I have always hated these. I build a nice looking building and then this really, I mean, if it was straight, I mean, I don't as a rule build Scrappy, so it might be something to do with that. I have built Scrappy, but my Scrappy tends to be very highly decorative. Anyway, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. So you should have enough space in here for a Brahman and some crops. If you don't want to grow crops, at least get a Brahman early on in the game. Mainly because Brahman milk will cure your rads. If you take rads and you've run out of rad away, drink some Brahman milk, it will clear your rads. And if you don't know, there are quite a few Brahman in Flatwoods. There are 3 at the Wayward, and I think there are 6 if you're lucky in Flatwoods. There are 3 just here below the bridge, and there are 3 down here. So that's 9 Brahmin. You will find that some Brahmin are cantankerous cows. So one of my characters, Nora, her Brahmin, would literally never, ever, ever give me any milk. So it is a bit RNG, but it's worth having for that. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this build. It's been fun to build something without all my usual trappings of flamer traps and double walling and wallpaper and all the other things that I add. But if you want to learn how to build, I have lots of very basic videos, yeah, maybe one day you will be doing all those things as well. So I hope you like the build. I hope you have fun with it. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.